Good afternoon, and thanks for joining me. Good news. It's a time of much-deserved optimism. Vaccines are going up, masks are coming down, and doors are opening wide. On-campus learning is happening. In August, we saw no students on campus. In December, very few. In March, there were 665. Today, there are about 817 students. Everything is trending towards better days. And there's more good news. Our plan for renewal is in, and in ahead of schedule. And that's because of you. You've done the kind of job that any leader could hope for, one that's hard to describe and easy to admire. What you've done is truly something to be marveled at. I have never been more proud of our staff than I am today. I have more good news to share. Before I do, though, I'd like for you to hear from one of our conservators, Dr. Susan Timms.
Good afternoon. I'm Dr. Susan Timms, lead monitor for Texans Can Academy. I'm here today to speak to you about the positive changes Texas Can Academy is working for next school year. These changes mirror the mission of the Texas Can Academy, which are to provide the highest quality education for all students, especially those who have struggled in a traditional high school setting, in order to ensure their economic success. District leadership and stakeholders have been working on a continuous improvement plan to address the conditions of the charter renewal. And those conditions are the escalation of monitors to conservators, IGC meetings, graduation and transcripts, credit recovery, testing, special population compliance, financial compliance, compliance of policies and procedures, and governance compliance. This plan has been submitted to the three monitors, Dr. Fred Hayes and Dr. Molly Cardo and myself. We are reviewing the plan. We will review and make any needed revisions. The Charter Division will review and determine the renewal status. This process will happen no later than July 15th. The end of the continuous improvement plan is to ensure high quality education for all Texans Can students. Dr. Hayes, Dr. Cardo, and myself are looking forward to working with Texans Can as we implement these changes. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Timms. I hope you heard what I heard. Our friends at the Texas Education Agency understand and believe in this mission, and they aim to help us fulfill it better than ever before. I think we can all look forward to the review and to any recommendations we may receive so we can do and be more to provide our students the high-quality education they need and deserve. All you've done, and done during a worldwide health crisis, is a wonder. Our students and their families are fortunate to have you. Our communities are fortunate to have you. And most importantly, I am fortunate to have you. You are all living evidence of what Texans Can means: commitment to the students who need us. You're showing up, and it shows. Now, here's some more good news about what lies in front of us. First, because of all your hard work, it is my hope that we receive word before July 15. Even if we don't receive early approval, you can again feel rightly proud that we submitted this plan ahead of time because of your extraordinary efforts. Please congratulate yourselves. You've earned it. Second, because you have provided some substantial input, our ESSER 3 grant plan has a clear mandate: mental health, psychosocial supports, extended learning opportunities to repair learning loss, and a robust CCMR we've identified as our focus going forward. Can you imagine when more and more of our students are mentally healthy, taking hold of knowledge and growth the pandemic withheld from them, and getting ready for their careers? It's a transformation, and I'm confident that you and I will see it happen together. Third, and finally, we're welcoming our students back this fall to open doors. Masks may be optional, but we will have temperature checks, contact tracing, sanitation, and air quality upgrades. Our students are going to return to learn, and we're going to see them thrive in a safe and welcoming environment. That's all good news. I'm sure some of you have questions about the upcoming months, so I'd like to take the opportunity to answer those. But first, let me answer some of the questions I've been asked most frequently. To begin with, mostly, will we have the opportunity to get to know our conservators? From experience, I can say that our conservators, including Dr. Timms, whom you heard from earlier, have worked very well with our executive staff, and I have found them to be nothing but open. I believe you'll find that they want to build a true relationship with Texans Can. I've also been asked, what happens if the TEA doesn't renew Texans Can's charter? I've seen firsthand the work that has brought us to this point in the renewal process. And our conservators, remember, have been with us through this process as monitors. They know us, they have seen and have remarked on your incredibly responsive efforts. I know, and I think they do too, that we have the staff to transform our organization into something that changes everyone's conversation about what it means to solve the dropout problem in Texas. While it's a possibility that TA may not renew Texans Can, I just don't see it. I've also been asked, when we renew, what will this mean for the culture at Texans Can? You can be sure that Texans Can will remain what we've always been, a standard bearer for dropout recovery and prevention. Our mission is the same. Now, I think we'll find ourselves with even clearer direction, which means we'll see all the more clearly when we're making a difference in our students' lives. What are some of the exciting things that will follow renewal? In addition to the priorities you've identified in the ESSER 3 plan, you'll find we're going to be driving a revamped, more effective special education program and a defined continuum of services that expands beyond reading. We also have a new evaluation system, and you'll soon discover a host of ways that the TEACS resource system can support our efforts. And now let's get to your questions. Will CAN still pay for the certification process for teachers? That'll be something that I'll get back to you. I don't necessarily have that answer, but we'll make sure we get that answer to you. Let me see, what else do we have here? Will Texas Can implement reading across the curriculum? Yes, we will have something that will help guide us, the strategies that we'll be working with our reading program. Remember, we still will be focusing in on reading, literacy skills, fluency, and comprehension. Will health screening survey be required next year? At this point, I don't think we're going to have the health screening so much as we're going to have just the temperature checks. But like I mentioned earlier, we still will have the tracing and everything else that goes along with whatever else will be going when we enter the building. But it'll be a much more streamlined process, and we'll have we've learned a lot from this past year. We're making those adjustments, and we'll make sure that we make that process like it should flow, knowing all the information we have now. I understand the teachers have to turn in their technology at the end of the school year. Since we have a new curriculum and evaluation systems for next year, will we be able to pick up our technology? That's a good question. Let me get back to Richard Pena and see how we can make that happen for y'all in a timely manner, and see what adjustments we can make to make sure that we need to refresh and we need to make all those adjustments to our technology, but we'll do everything we can to get that to y'all in a timely manner. What else do we have? Will we have class support for ELL students, and how will we service them? That's another part that's being revamped, and we're working very, very diligently on that to change the way we're looking at that also. So we will have the in-class support. We will have different methodologies that we'll be using, and we'll have a combination of service supports for our students and our ESL students in that manner. Will we still have the CNAs on campus? No, we're moving away from the CNAs. That was some of the things we learned now, and what we're learning now with the vaccine, with everything else that's going on. We won't have the CNAs. We will have the screening. I think we're going to have the electronic screening, and our security officers will also help with that process. So we'll be getting with y'all to make sure that that's coordinated like it should be. But that's one of the revamped processes that we've learned about and that we can fulfill as we go forward. At what point will the conservatorship be lifted by TEA? You know, that's up to us, really. That's up to us that we're fulfilling everything that's required. That's our partnership that we have with our conservators, and that they see the progress has made itself to a level that they have the confidence and the trust that we're fulfilling every one of those renewal conditions at a level that we've never fulfilled it before. So it's going to be a process. It will be a 1 to 3 year process easily, but I think along the way we'll have those benchmarks and markers on how that'll be lifted. But I think collectively, like I said, again, in that partnership, we'll be able to have those markers and see when that happens. Will we be able to use computers in the classroom? You know, that's the other part that we'll be working. We'll have a combination that hybrid in-class, hybrid. We will be training and working in using the cadres we had to figure out how, now that everybody's back, how we don't lose all the learning that not only the students had, but also that the teachers had, and how to apply technology in the classroom. How will the employees be updated over the summer status of the renewal? Yeah, we'll be sending out the information as soon as we know. We'll let the rest of the staff know. Will we continue to use Schoology? Yes, Schoology will be a big part of what we still use. Remember, part of what we also have to plan for is that even though there's a lot of positive momentum around the virus and not hopefully having to go again asynchronous, we still have to be ready and have a plan that may happen. So not only that's one reason to keep Schoology, but I think the management and what we've learned using Schoology this year is a big part of what will happen and will help us going forward. They're talking about T-tests and the evaluation system and the salary dependent. That at this time, I don't have an answer for that at this moment. But we will, all these questions that we're not quite sure, you know that I'll find the answer. We'll get it back to you as timely as possible. Training for all the changes, yes. Right now, that's where we're working. A lot of the training that we're doing is coming out of Region 10. And at this time, in coordination with Region 10, we're sending out a training calendar. So some of that will be at the beginning of the year as we enter and start the year out with the training days we have. And others that will take place throughout the year. And we use a combination of training outside of school, outside of when school starts. And then throughout the year, some will be job embedded. And then some will take advantage of the other times that the students aren't in class. T-test will be for all the teaching staff. So that T-test will be for all the teaching staff. I'm trying to see some of the other questions. Yeah, the devices will, like I said, the devices will still be available for students. The devices will still be available for students. We'll have it in a different manner. It won't necessarily be as we had it this year because it won't be asynchronous learning, but the students will have access to, and we'll make sure that any student that needs a device or has to have a device outside of school will have that opportunity. I'm looking through it. Another question about special ed. That's more to come. Right now, we're working on what the continuous services will look like. And as soon as we get that plan solidified and the training around it, we'll surely be a big part of that. Obviously, it's just not a special ed issue. It's every teacher issue. So we will definitely have the what it looks like, the training involved, and the expectations and the coaching and support to make sure that we're able to fulfill that for our students. I'm trying to see if there are other questions. The reading program, again, we'll have the reading across every subject in every class. Remember, in our case, the big part of the reading is redundancy and the gap that students have as they enter into Texans Can. So the reason we have it every day in every classroom is so that we can begin to have that training necessary in that short amount of time so that they can pick up their fluency and then, of course, the comprehension that follows that. Will there be mental health professionals other than the guidance counselors? You know, right now we're working on that plan as part of the ESSER 3. In San Antonio, there is a pilot program, and we're going to take everything we've learned on that pilot program and apply it to the rest of the campuses. So that's the intent right now, and that's what we have in the ESSER 3 plan to help students as we enter the fall semester. I want to thank all of you for joining me today. I want you to know both how confident I am in the caliber of staff we have here at Texans Can, where you can ply your trade and fulfill your sense of vocation at the same time, and how grateful I am to be fulfilling this calling with you. Two more things for Texans Can. The apex is graduation. Be on the lookout for those upcoming dates and be ready to celebrate our students' accomplishments that you've made possible. And in this moment, I think, right along with the advances in medicine, we can consider each diploma yet another victory over the virus. Lastly, take your rest this summer. We rightly celebrate our students for their remarkable ability to adapt, for their flexibility, and for their grit. You have that too, and I've seen it. Enjoy your relaxation and a well-earned sense of pride. We look forward to seeing you in the fall.